Okay, so we're looking here at exercise number 4, and all we were doing was we were taking this equation, made a table with it, we made up some random values for x, we just happened to use 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 because they were simple, and so now we need to find our y, or in this case, our s. No, not our s. Our P, that's what we're going to have in dollars, our sale price. So we're using the equation. P is equal to 1.25, and then we're multiplying it times our S, so this is our X or our S in this case. Okay, and so we're multiplying it times our S, and so our S on the first one was 10. And so when we multiply 1.25 times 10, we get 12.5. So P is equal to 12.5. Price after markup price, so that's $12.50. Okay, and so we're just going to do that for every single one. So P is equal to 1.25, and we're going to plug in what we have in our S value, which is 20. So P is equal to 1.25 times 20, 25. So $25 after the markup. Okay. P is equal to 1.25 times 30. So P is equal to 1.25 times 30, 37.50. 37.5. So $37.50. Then I'm going to do P equals 1.25 times 40. 1.25 times 40, which gives me 50. P is equal to 50. So after the markup, it is $50. And finally, P is equal to 1.25 times 50. 1.25 times 50 is equal to 62.5. P equals 62.5. It's money. $62.50 is how much it will cost after the markup. Part C, create and label a graph of the equation. And so we are going to be taking that table and we're going to be putting it on this graph. So this is this is our x-axis. It's continuing on forever in this direction. This is our y-axis that's continuing on forever. Remember, we're saying we're using S and P. They still mean the same thing. That's a P. Okay, so our X was the price before the markup. And our Y was the price after markup. And so what we were having a markup of 25%. So the title, markup of 25%. Okay, so I know on the bottom I need values up to 50. And I've already looked at this, so I know that I can skip 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. To space it out. 1, 2, 3. 20. 1, 2, 3. 30. 1, 2, 3. 40. And 1, 2, 3. 50. Okay. And going up on the Y, I need something that goes from a little bit below $12.50 all the way up to $62.50. And that is actually jumping by $12.50 for each. So I could label this as $12.50 for each because it is increasing that much. But I'm just going to stick with the 10. So, and I was able to skip, I think, 2 lines here. So 10, 1, 2, 20, 1, 2, 30, 1, 2, nope. I could only skip 1. So skip 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, because I need to be able to plot all of those points. So at 10, it was $12.50. I'm just going to the 20. At 20, it was 25 because it's a better spot. And so I'm going to put the 25. And then at 40, it was at 50. 40, it's at 50. Okay. And I do realize that they're moving. This is just to help me to be able to make a straight line. Yours should not move because you're on a piece of paper, not a computer. And so once we have all of our lines done, we're going to draw a nice straight line through all of our points. Okay. Straight. Oh, there we go. Now it fixed. Not perfectly, but close. And so all of our points should fall on those lines. So make sure to plot all of your points, not just the 2, and they should all fall on the line. Okay. Interpret the points 0, 0. So let's interpret 0, 0. 0, 0 means that a $0 or free item will cost $0 because the 25% markup is also $0. If we multiply anything times 0, we're going to get 0, so it's going to be 0. And then our other point, 1, R, means okay, so 1 is our x, so that's talking about right about here, 1, and then going up. And so what does that point mean? So it means that a dollar item will cost $1.25 after it's marked up 25% because R is the unit rate, the amount for just 1. And so that's our y divided by x. So every time we do y divided by x in our table, 1250 divided by 10, we're going to get 1.25, which is our unit rate. Okay, exercise number 5. Use the following table to calculate the markup or markdown rate. Show your work is the relationship between the original price and the selling price proportional or not. So calculate the markup or markdown rate. We're going to go back to that in a second. Is the relationship proportional between the original and the selling price? And then explain. So let's remember tables. X and Y. We do the Y divided by the X, and if it is the same, if it has a constant, it's proportional. So 1,400 divided by 1,750, 1,400 divided by 1,750, and we get 0.8. Not 12,000, 1,200 divided by 1,500 is equal to divided by 1,500 equals 0.8. 1,000 divided by 1,250 is equal to 1,000 divided by 1,250.8. 800 divided by 1,000. 800 divided by 1,000 equals 0.8. And finally, 600. Remember, we have to try every one of them to make sure that it is proportional, because if this one is not 0.8, then the whole table is not proportional. 600 divided by 750. 0.8. So is the table proportional? Yes. The table is proportional. Why is that going away? That's weird. Okay. Proportional because when, why is it doing that? Okay, so we're just going to go through talking about this because the computer was acting funny. So the table is proportional because when you divide y divided by x, you get the same constant. We had the 0.8 every single time. And then we're looking at our part, percent, and whole in order to figure out the markup or markdown rate. And since it's going from 1750 to 1400, we know it's a markdown rate. We're paying less. So our part is the change from 1750 minus 1400. So 1750 minus 1400. That's how I'm getting that 350. My percent is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the markdown rate, and so that's a markdown rate is a percent. And then our whole is our original. So our original price was $1,750. Okay, so P is equal to percent times the whole. And then we're going to plug in our values. Please excuse the fact that mine is not perfectly lined up, and you should make sure that yours is neatly lined up. I was not able to see what I was writing. So we divide both sides by 1,750. 350 divided by 350 divided by 1750 is what gave me the 0.2. And we were looking for a percent, so we moved that decimal 2 places to the right. So it was a 20% decrease or 20% markdown rate. We were looking for markdown rate. when we're dealing with money. That's more of what we're dealing with is our markdown rate, not our decrease.